Hi, I am John Newton, aka Snap-on John 100, aka Bob Newton, and you are watching Wilderness Self-Reliance. I just wanted to say this early on in the video. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and most of all, please send this video, the link to this video, to all the other classmates of 1975, or either 1 year before or 1 year after. But for sure, I want all the people in my class in 1975 to get this, and I only have just a few emails that I can send this to. So if you would, please send this around so everybody gets a chance to laugh. This video is dedicated to Ron Hondo Smith, who I've known ever since kindergarten, and Jeff Gould, who's a wilderness survival understudy of mine and also a classmate, and also the class of Vincennes, Indiana, Lincoln High School, graduating class of 1975. This year would have been our 46th year. Last year, because of the COVID scare, was canceled. So this is our 45th plus one high school class reunion. And I want to tell you guys, this was very humbling. I went back and I met scientists, optics engineers, doctors, dentists, all kinds of accountants. One was a forensic accountant. I met a demolitions engineer who by setting charges can collapse a building into its own footprint, exactly like what we saw at 9/11. He makes sure that all the people are out of the building at first, of course. Oh, I met a government secret agent and also part-time TV celebrity, 2 full-bird colonels who are retired, and one guy that didn't make it is actually a general. And so it was extremely humbling. What I'm doing right now is raising chickens and taking care of dogs and cats. Oh, at 64, the most important person there that I hang around with was a urologist, of course. And this video is dedicated to you guys. I hope you enjoy it. And for Renee Miller and Ron Smith, this is going to be the ultimate show and tell. We are on our way to one of the trails. This is the road I live on. This is the Birch Tree Road that I'm going down. This mine is off to the right. Okay, now we switch into 4-wheel drive, and we're still on the old Birch Tree Road. It still blows me away that this is how people had to get to the other town. The logs that are being taken out of here are anywhere from 100 to 150 years old. Without further ado, though, I'm going to go ahead and... This is for Jeff. And by the way, Jeff, if it gets any worse in New Jersey, I'll show you how to make a helmet out of a boot lace and an armadillo. It's incredible how a few years makes a big difference on how stiff you are. Ooh. Right off the bat. I'll try not to edit out too many of my goofs. I gotta get that a little deeper. For the knife aficionados, this is a Bark River Bravo 2.5. Okay, finally, I got an ember. Now I can catch my breath. I'll adjust the camera. Okay, I made the bird's nest ahead of time, once again to save time. This is just inner bark and outer bark of a cedar tree. So I take my little ember and I put it in the center of my bird's nest. Okay, we have flame. Try to keep from setting my pants on fire. There you go, Jeff. That was for you. Okay, so now we're going to go down to the river. And so we'll be going along the path that's now like a highway because of the logging trucks. So here we go. I'll try to point out any spiders, snakes, lizards, or any other cool stuff for all of my show and tell friends. Okay, I will be turning this on and off because it's a really long hike and I don't want to waste my battery and bore everybody to death. But this woods has been logged up until lately. It hadn't been logged for about 125 years or so. But for income for all of us who live in this woods and to protect the woods, we're having it thinned because the red oak only lives that long, and so they're all dying and falling down and stuff. Here's an example of what happens to a healthy big oak tree because we have such shallow topsoil here in the Ozarks that if it rains a lot, the ground gets loosened up, and then when the wind blows, the tree topples over. We are now inside the National Scenic Rivers Beltway that's thousands and thousands of acres because it follows the rivers all the way along, and it's about 2 miles deep. I'm also doing this video because of all the people that I told I felt like I lived in the middle of the Garden of Eden, instead of just telling them I lived in the Ozarks and have them just wonder what was wrong with me. There are so many people that are moving here just because they vacationed once or twice in the summer when they were young, and they never got it out of their system. So as an adult, they came back. You probably can't see them, but their shadows will be moving over the ground a bunch. I've got a huge flock of turkey vultures circling above me. I can't go anywhere without being followed by them. I walk so slow that every once in a while I have to stop and wave my arms to let them know I'm still alive and don't bother yet. Okay, now we're on a spur. We're going down the side of it. As you can see, it slopes down there pretty steeply. And a spur, for the people that don't do land navigation, is a piece of land that slopes away on 3 sides. And a reentrant is the opposite, or same, people call them a draw. It is a piece of land that slopes up on 3 sides. So this trail skirts around the outside of a spur, and that helps it be less steep. But as you can probably see, possibly, this is a cliff right here that's pretty much a vertical drop of 300 or 400 feet, probably 300. And then that goes along on another spur, and you see that cut right there between this path that I'm on and this, and right there, there's a cut. It's got a lot of big trees in it, but I think that's the old Birch Tree Road. I forgot to tell you, I've been walking on it all this time, and it came from up there and then comes down, and it's hard to tell. But I think this right here, as it goes around, is the old Birch Tree Road, and this part I have is a new trail. I've been walking probably 3/4 of a mile downhill, and on the way up, if I stop and say it's been 5 miles, don't believe it. But as you can see, that right there, well, I don't know if you can tell, is pretty flat, and it's cut into the hillside, whereas this right here looks more new. So I think that's the road. But they'll come out at the river about the exact same spot. Okay, we're coming up to the river. There's some cool cliffs over on the other side. That's one of the neat things about the Jack's Fork River. There's usually a cliff on one side all the way down. It just changes sides periodically. This is a nice place to camp. A lot of people will stop here when they're kayaking or canoeing. The Jack's Fork is a popular kayaking destination. but it does fluctuate pretty wildly with rain and stuff. So the one that it dumps into is the Current River, which is real famous for that, and it is fed by probably more springs than any other river in the country. Definitely Missouri. It's ice cold and loaded with trout. This has a few springs in it, but not enough to keep the water warm enough, so it's a smallmouth fishery. Let's see, here's that side is the tall side that's up against the water, and we get a lot of bald eagles up and down here because of the cliffs and remoteness. Lots of them come in the winter, but we see some that I think stay year-round in all different times of the year. All right. I wish I had a filter so you could see in the water. I don't know if you can tell, there's some lights. Those are giant boulders about the size of a Volkswagen. And that's what it looks like. This is going downstream. And now those cliffs are on the other, on my side that I'm on right now. So they switch back and forth. So when you're kayaking, you've got a cliff on one side of you. So it's really neat because there's all kinds of cool wildlife near there. And sometimes you'll see a water moccasin bathing on a rock, tons of turtles. Right now I don't see anything. There's something over here, but the glare, there's too much glare, I can't see. But I'll just do a panorama. Now right here, under these trees, is a real sandy spot. So this is popular for people pitching a tent. The rocks aren't so big as to damage the bottom of your tent. Okay, I'm going to rest and then go back up the hill, and I'll meet you up by the truck. I hope you're enjoying this travelogue. Here's another good example of a reentrant. Get closer to the edge. See, it goes up through there. And then there's another spur. There's always a spur. It's a spur reentrant, like that. And that one is a spur that goes up to the top where I'm going. And I'm on this spur right here that is bigger. And there's the road. And usually when I'm navigating, I'm going up reentrance, but you wouldn't want a road going up a reentrant because of flooding. So this is the old road that you took a wagon or a horse. And I never have found the ford because obviously they didn't cross and then walk into a cliff. So they must have gone downstream or upstream a little bit. Okay, I'm going to continue uphill. There's a neighbor. Lives back there. They never come, maybe once a year. Now, this is all my property in here now. On both sides of the road. And it continues way beyond where that road goes down, and then it curves. But my driveway's right here. I had my 10 acres thinned, so it's a lot more open. The gate is normally closed, but the dogs are inside and the chickens are inside, so I left it open because I went to get the mail. I apologize to all my knife friends. The knife I had today is a Bark River Bravo 1.25 rampless. The steel is CPM 3V. The spine is a little over 5 millimeters. The blade is 5 inches, and the handle scales are camouflage G10. That's what it looks like. It's one of my favorites. Very hefty spine, and it's got a convex grind. Handle scales are super ergonomic. Anyway, I know I'd get chastised if I didn't show that off. Here are the girls, in case anyone's wondering. The black ones are called black astrolops. The white and black ones are light Brahmas. The black and white spotted ones that look like Phyllis Diller are called silver spangled Spitzhabens. They're from Switzerland. The brown, the one right here in the foreground, is an Easter egger. That one right there, that's a salmon Faverel. The rooster is a red-sided Yokohama. These are close up. That's him right there. I'll go over to see if I can get some other ones. So there's an Easter egger right there. It's so hot that they're wanting to be under the shade, but I gave them some treats, so they came out. I might let them out so you can see them in the yard. This contraption right there I put together. When the sun comes up, that door opens automatically, and when it goes down, it's got an electric eye, a photocell, and so it will close the door so they know to go in there before it gets too dark. And then they're safe. Sorry, I'm going to have to wait till the sun's at a better angle because it's so bright I can't see anything. This 6-foot commercial grade chain link fence was put in to keep our dogs inside. The benefit is it keeps the deer out, and so now we have no ticks in our yard, which is a miracle. That box is for little chicks. Here's where we keep the younger ones. I'll let them out later. It's shady over here. Oh, there's the backside. And I don't know if you can see them, I got solar panels because I can flip a switch and be off grid. And there comes Max. He's the one that protects the chickens while our dogs are sleeping inside our bedroom instead of protecting them. Hi, Max. So, this right here is our guest house. It's a yurt. I'll go up here. There's a lot of leaves falling, so there's a lot of debris on the deck. It's called the Redbird Yurt. And so here's the deck behind it. This is our only deck. But as you can see, when you sit on the deck, you really feel like you're out in the middle of the woods. Yeah, I gotta clean that off. It's got it looks like stuff from squirrels. So we got steps down there. I'll take you inside to show you inside the guest house. Kathy's made it really beautiful. We got two back doors, one there and then one through the back screened-in area. The door. So Max doesn't get trapped in here. Let's see if I can get far enough away. So you see how a yurt is designed? It's like a Mongolian tent. So it's like that all the way around. I think this is a 27 or 30 feet in diameter. So there's a little wicker couch and table there, and over here by the window is a writing desk, and over here is a couch that folds out into a double bed, and then there's a single bed bunk up there, and there's windows every so many feet. There's a fan going here. There's a Casablanca fan above me. That little white thing is a little tiny refrigerator, and behind that fan is a Keurig coffee pot. So somebody could stay here and have most of the amenities except for TV. And then if it gets warm or cold, we got a little tiny wood stove right there. So that's, I'll show you, that's the ceiling. I'll turn that off so that you can see you can see better that way. So that dome cracks, it lifts up on a side so the air can come in. And that's a Hunter fan I just put in. Okay. We're not... Max, come on. Here, Max. I'll have to go let him out. Right there is a bathhouse I'm working on. My new pride and joy. Our Ozark model above ground pool. In the winter, it's going to be a hot tub when I build a little fire under it. Here's Mr. Wiley Boy. There's little Chloe girl, and Max is in the chair. Chloe, you want to go for a walk? Let's go for a walk. Well, this is the living room, and up there is my loft. That's my office. It's probably, I think it's 10 by 20. No, probably 10 by 15. Let's go for, you want to go for a walk? Come here, Chloe. We're going to go for a walk. She's very shy. Chloe! Want to go for a walk? There's Chloe girl and Mr. Wiley boy. Wiley looks like a coyote, that's why I called him Wiley. And Chloe is an Anatolian shepherd who looks extremely sleepy and shy. We're going to be going for a walk. Don't miss out on your walk. Come on, let's go. We're going for a walk. Wiley says goodbye, and Chloe says goodbye. Good morning. I just wanted to, introduce my beautiful wife, Kathy.
Good morning.
I was able to corral her before she went to work. She was out of town when I was filming most of this, so I want to make sure that she was at least in there sometime. But I just, from the bottom of my heart, I wanted to thank you all for being with me. I had a fantastic time at the reunion. It was wonderful to see all you guys. And I just am drawing a blank right now.
Just wanted to show you how we spend our mornings.
This is how we spend our mornings before we go to, get off to work. But I just wanted to tell you that it was wonderful that you were able to share a little slice of the Garden of Eden with me. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. I just truly had a great time doing this for you guys, and I will follow up with another one on the Ozark Trail and try to hit a couple of the old mills that are along some of the springs or streams. Until we meet again, God bless.